You are now listening to the Serial Boss Reject Podcast.
And we live episode 74, live in Jersey. First one.
It's the first time.
First time. You know, last time I was up here in May of 2019, once I came back, we talked about putting the podcast together, and then we started it up, and then COVID hit, so I couldn't come up here, and I'm finally up here.
Finally.
74 episodes in, finally the first one.
That's right.
We doing it over a year.
Yes, sir.
You know, and we enjoyed a nice Taco Bell run.
We did.
After 10 o'clock, I found out that there's gang signs now. If you're pulling into a Taco Bell after 10, you know how motorcyclists pass each other and they throw like the little hand signs out. I found out if you're pulling into the Taco Bell after 10, you know, you throw up a little T like, hey. You know, we all know. We all know.
The squad. Everybody knows.
Everyone knows what's going on. Taco Bell gang signs after 10. And, you know, and I found out how I'm getting old. So we're staying at my mom's house, and to get my daughter to calm down, like videos are like their crack.
Oh yeah.
Like when they start getting crazy, they start going through withdrawals, and you just gotta be like, yo, here, just gotta give them their crack.
Gotta get their fix.
And so she loves JoJo CY, so I put JoJo CY on TikTok for her, so she just swiped through.
Yep.
Turns out she sent like 200 people in my DMs just random JoJo video, and I'm like, people are gonna start unfollowing me like, what is wrong with this dude? He's dancing in Speedo, sending JoJo videos.
Yeah, sending kid shows to people.
You know, and then her cousin's got this Nintendo Switch, and I was trying to play it and figure it out, and I feel like once you just have a kid like the way you know electronics.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff,
you're immediately old.
Start going downhill, and I'm just sitting there like, what is this? What do I do here?
Yeah.
And I walk around my house aimlessly doing nothing. I'm like, this is it. I'm old.
Yeah,
we're here.
You immediately go back to not knowing how to use a VCR.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I'm like, is this rewound? You know, and another thing I found out, Alexas, my wife's dad got one of them Alexas.
Yep.
And everyone went over there, and this dude's like, Alexa, play today's hits. And today's hits that she was playing were not today's hits. Like, Alexa's out here embarrassing people.
Oh yeah.
Having a party, just like, yo, play today's hits. And she's just playing, I don't even know what's
Today's hits, bro. You're looking at some gross stuff.
It wasn't Cardi B, honestly. It was like literally not today's hits.
Again, that goes to you being an old fuck.
Yep.
I mean, it probably is today's hits for today's youth, but for you, that shit's
Still like, what is going on?
garbage. What is this?
What is happening?
Yeah.
You know?
He should have said, play today's hits from 1987. That would have been way better.
It is true. I do miss the cold up here too.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Jersey's got a nice cold, but you know, everyone with this mask, people are in the cars. I went to a Chinese restaurant, Chin Wang, and they got a window
You
service.
saw that, right? Isn't that fucking cool?
Yeah. You come up to window, you don't even go in the store. I didn't wear a mask, and everyone's like, what the fuck you looking at, man?
It looks like you're in fucking like Compton or some shit, and everything's just walled off.
everything.
You put your money in a fucking thing, it slides through. They put your Chinese food in a glass jar.
Like you can't
send it
come
to
in
you.
at all.
Oh no,
It's crazy. It's crazy.
give them credit for that ingenuity. Though.
It is.
Build all that glass and shit, like with the fucking sliding.
And my first experience was when me and Cody got stuck in Camden.
Oh no.
And we were just so cold, and there's a Dunkin' Donuts behind bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
And it was literally just like a bank drive-up window. She was like, "What do you want?"
Literally.
Just some coffee. Put the money in, shut it, and just put the coffee in. She's like, "Don't open it hard." Just like, damn.
It's like you're at the damn pharmacy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It really is.
You know.
It's cool. It's cool.
But we got some good movies to talk about here.
We sure do.
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass.
Come on, KG. This is no different than this.
This is me. All right? I'm not a fucking athlete. This is my fucking way. This is how I win.
Let's put a smile on that face. And... why so serious?
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Hey, listen up! If anybody need me, I'm gonna be working a big, big case for the FBI.
Avengers!
Assemble.
This week's movies, we got the movie title, One Night in Miami, and the movie review that we are very highly anticipated on, Songbird, which fell slightly short.
It was a letdown.
It was.
I will say that.
I was so disappointed too.
So much potential.
And I was like, screw a $20 rental. This movie's going to be amazing. And I'm sitting there. I'm 30 minutes in. I'm like, this is it.
I'm glad.
It's a pandemic love story.
Yeah, I'm glad that I told you not to tell me how the movie was.
Yeah.
Because I would not have paid money to rent it.
Yeah, you saw the $20 rent and be like, ah.
Fuck that. But I spent $20 and it is what it is.
Yeah. So movie title, One Night in Miami. Mine is about 3 friends in a fantasy league who go down to Miami. Really, it's about a guy just living on his own, living the American dream, and just being a piece of shit. And this 18-year-old girl comes knocking on his door, and he answers his door. He's like, "Yo, who are you?" And she's like, "Yo, you're my dad." He's like, "Can't be." She was like, "No, you knocked my mom up in Miami 18 years ago." And he starts thinking, he's like, "I was in Miami 18 years ago." So he's like, "You know what? Let me see who this woman was," because he remembers a wild night in Miami. So he's like, "Yo, let's take a road trip back to Miami." So they get in the car to try and like connect with each other, and they take this road trip all the way down to Miami, and she gets to her mom's house. They go up to the door, and this woman comes walking out who used to be a stripper, prostitute, and right off the bat, this guy remembers. He's like, "Oh," but now she's all cleaned up and found God and isn't that person no more.
Right.
But this man knows how to talk, and they end up hanging out, and he ends up pretty much talking her into a one-night stand with him before he leaves his daughter at the house and leaves at like 2 a.m. and drives back home. And the actors and actresses in this, the dad is played by, if still was still living, Chris Farley would have that role. The daughter would be played by Emma Stone, and the wife, stripper, prostitute in Miami would be played by Wanda Sykes.
Just have one question. Chris Farley and Wanda Sykes have a baby. How does it turn out to be Emma Stone?
She had the Michael Jackson gene.
Fair. Okay. All right. Okay. That's good.
Michael Jackson gene.
Oh, God. Okay. So we got One Night in Miami. Mine is takes place over one night. It's a dude. He's out partying on spring break with all his boys, living up the nightlife, doing all the drugs, drinking all the booze, doing everything he shouldn't be doing. But whatever. He notices this girl at the bar. Most beautiful girl he's ever seen. Absolutely in love. Walks up to her, tries to throw on the charm, hit her up, say, "Ooh, XYZ, you're so beautiful," whatever. Cuts to black. That's the end of that. Wakes up, and he's just totally fucked up, hungover. His body's all sore. He doesn't know what happened. So he's just like, "Oh shit, what the fuck happened?" Starts looking around the room, realizes he's in what looks to be a girl's room. There's a vanity over there. There's makeup all over the place. Looks down. There's a pair of women's underwear on the ground. He's like, yo, I fucking smashed this chick last night. I got it. I'm the best. So he gets up, goes to leave, sees there's a note on the door, or a note by his coffee, I should say, and it says, "Thanks for last night. Sorry, had to run, had to go to work." And there's a fucking coffee there. He's like, yo, telling the boys, I smashed. I'm a god. Runs, finds the dudes, talks to them, and he's starting to go through his night. Like, oh, I was fucking champ. I talked to this girl. We hooked up. We smashed. Brought her back to her house. Whatever. And then all at the same time, he notices all of them are just staring at him laughing. He's like, what the fuck is so funny? They all just whip out their phones and show him making out with the most hairy-handed, gigantic Adam's apple having, fucking 5 o'clock shadow, tranny dude of all time. And for that moment on, he was known as Tim the Tranny Tamer. And it is starring Adam Devine as Tim.
I like that. It's
Pretty
a
awful.
bad night. That's
Pretty
a bad
awful.
night in
Terrible.
Miami.
Oh,
It's a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
And our movie review, Songbird,
Yep.
the highly anticipated pandemic purge movie that
That's what the trailer would lead you to believe.
yes, that fell short of that and ended up being a Nicholas Sparks love story today with Mask.
I'll run through the synopsis here. So we got, immune to COVID-23, a courier races against time to save the woman he loves from a quarantine camp. And if you notice something, the synopsis of this movie is very short because the movie sucks. Every movie, this is a fucking little inside baseball on how movies are done. If the synopsis on Google is short, the movie's bad. Find me one movie with a short synopsis that's good. It doesn't exist.
Yep.
So go ahead with your initial thoughts, and I suppose you can just overview the movie, and then I'll come in with what I thought.
So I was so excited going into this.
Yeah.
I'm pumped, sitting there, and it opens up. Well, opens up the dude's on the bike, and he's delivering packages and all that. But everyone's not allowed out. They got drones flying.
Yeah.
You have to scan yourself through a phone every single day. And if you got COVID, like, people come into your house and just snatch you up and put you in a quarantine camp.
Yep.
Pretty much like Nazi Germany. And if you're immune, you get a bracelet and you're allowed out. You're allowed to still work and, do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up falling in love with this broad who is now targeted by the quarantine camps. And he's trying to get her a bracelet and all this. And the people that he's getting a bracelet from are crooked. Mm-hmm. And they're making money off of this, so they want to know how he found out about this, and they're trying to track people down and kill him. So they end up going after the girl. So he ends up getting a bracelet and quarantine people snatch her up, put her in a van. He ends up getting to the border at the same exact time that she pulls up at the border. Mm-hmm. He runs up to grab her and slaps his bracelet on her. And then tells him, he's like, no, she got a bracelet. And then they scan it, and she's got a bracelet on, and she gets set free, and they become an entanglement.
An entanglement. Funny how you say entanglement,
Songbird.
which reminds me of Will Smith in another post-apocalyptic type movie, I Am Legend, which was way better.
Yeah.
Way better of a movie. It's just, this movie felt super rushed. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh shit, it's October of the pandemic. This movie needs to come out while the pandemic is still hot. While everybody's still talking about it.
In quarantine.
Everybody's still talking about it, yeah. And it's just, it felt like they did one rough draft and were like, the studio was like, all right, fuck, run with it. That's fine. Let's go. Let's get this movie going.
Yeah. It was very rushed, and you could have made it like a Purge style movie, and it would have been amazing. Instead, you made it a love story about getting a bracelet.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
fuck?
Like,
instead of making it like an escape from the pandemic, escape from the Purge type movie, they took a love story set in a pandemic.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yep.
Like, you could have fucking taken the pandemic out, and it could have still been a love story about anything. The girl gets taken away for whatever other stupid shoehorned in reason. Doesn't need to be a pandemic, and the guy saves the girl. That's what it could have been. It was so silly. Like, they could have leaned into it a couple different ways, I felt. Like, they could have went with, like, the people living inside the quarantine zone trying to escape. That would have been a cool angle.
Yes.
It could have been fucking that guy who's immune to the virus doing like a fucking underground railroad helping people escape. That would have been way cooler. Or it could have fucking been any number of other shits. They could have went with like a classism thing. You know how like obviously today the rich people are still out doing whatever they want, because obviously we're in a quarantine in real life right now. They're out doing whatever they want, going to restaurants, having private parties at their house, this and that, because they can afford to do that with their money. They can pay to have COVID tests and all this stuff immediately at their party and have 1,000 people at a house.
Yeah.
Because they can have the COVID tests. Poor people can't do that. They're basically quarantined into their homes in some states still. What they could have done is had this fucking guy, played by KJ Apa, Nico, the main character, he could have been like running around at all these fucking 5-star resorts and country clubs and stuff, basically doing whatever he wants, living it up, because he's immune, while the rich people would, in essence, be poor people and have to be quarantined to their house. That's how they could have played it. But instead, it was just, you didn't see any of that. You didn't see any of him fucking going eating at like a 5-star restaurant or anything. You don't see him or them taking advantage of their immunity, which I think they would really do if it was in real life. But I don't know. I felt like it just missed the mark on a lot of potential cool things that they could have done.
Especially Michael Bay directing it.
Exactly.
He puts out good movies. They drop the ball.
He puts out good action movies with explosions and this and that. Granted, some of the Transformers movies are not great, but it always comes down to the cinematics of the movie. Excellent. Yeah. The explosions, the fucking car chases. Even in what was that movie with Ryan Reynolds that just came out that was absolutely awful? 6 Underground.
Yeah.
That was directed by Michael Bay. The explosions, excellent. Car chase, excellent. What sucked? The script. That sucked. The story sucked. But the 5 action set pieces in the movie were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So they just need whoever writes Michael Bay's scripts, fire that motherfucker. Get him out of there. Get a new guy to write a script for Michael Bay, and then let him do his awesome action sequences that cost $200 million and has all practical explosions and really doing demolitions on buildings and shit. That's awesome.
Yep.
But the script is always what fucking struggles.
It does. What kind of scores did they give it on?
They were not too kind. I'll be honest.
I mean, it's understandable. It's understandable.
So you got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, 4.4 on IMDb, and a 27% on Metacritic.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I personally went with a 5.5 because the actors were good. Alexandra Daddario was good. KJ Apa was good. It's not their fault for the movie being so shallow and the script being so shitty. So they did good. The set looked good. I didn't see any like terrible fucking awful green screen or any of that shit. That looked pretty good, but just the story was boring. So I just had to knock it for that. I gave it the best score I could in trying to help out the actors, essentially. Giving them the benefit of the doubt, so to speak.
I went with a 5.8. So sets it at like a 5.6.
Yeah. I wouldn't
recommend it, but if you wanted to spend $20 on a rental, you know.
Yeah. While it's $20, don't fucking buy it.
Yeah.
If
when
it comes
it's like
to Netflix,
$1.99 rental, Netflix.
Goes to Netflix, it's on Hulu, it's on some shit like that. Yeah. Give it a watch. Whatever. Let us know how shitty you think it is.
Yeah. Because it was.
It was not great. Not great,
Well,
friends.
we got some good news stories, though.
Go ahead.
President-elect,
Go ahead.
since you are attacking
No,
our news
not you.
organization,
Not you.
can you give us a chance?
Your organization's
you are attacking
terrible.
our news organization.
Your
Can
organization's
you give us a
terrible.
chance
Let's
to ask
go.
a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir,
Quiet.
can you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you
She's
state
asking a
categorically,
question. Don't be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No, I'm
give
not
us a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
Go ahead.
can you state categorically that nobody...
So, 3 news stories this week. We got one out of South Carolina, one out of Jersey, and of course one out of Florida. You know, a little each. So first one, Columbia, South Carolina couple hold a Pizza Hut manager at gunpoint and just steal 2 liters of Pepsi. That's all they wanted, just some Pepsi.
Bro, I would have just fucking given him the Pepsi. Please, take it. Bye-bye. It's gross. Pepsi's not even good.
Right? You're gonna do 10 years in jail for a Pepsi.
Bro, if it was Sprite, though, I could see. Pepsi? No thanks.
But, yeah, so good old South Carolina, holding it down.
Yeah, but, like, they didn't even get, like, a stuffed crust pizza or something. Like, bro, make me...
I feel like they ordered pizza and they got into a fight. They were like, you didn't get soda? No,
Yeah.
you didn't get soda? And dude was so pissed. He just went up there. He's like, give me fucking 2 Pepsis. And he was like, just take it, man. Just take
exactly.
it. He was like, here. And then they're getting pulled over. She said, why are we getting pulled over? And he's like, I held the dude at gunpoint to get him. And then the second story, Nutley, New Jersey man was arrested for assaulting his Uber Eats delivery driver with his sandwich. So I read the story, and the dude paid him, and there was 27 cents left, and the dude was like, that's for you, man. And the Uber Eats driver told him to keep it. He don't want it. He's like, yeah, just keep it.
Yeah.
So the dude got mad, and he took his sandwich out that was just delivered and threw it at him, and then started throwing it at his car, like the lead and everything at the car. Like,
that's just got to be a guy who's, like, retarded or something. Because, like, you just paid for that
he's
sandwich.
like, you don't want the 27 cents?
Yeah, right?
And he just pulled his meatball sub out and just wham!
Imagine if you get meatballs thrown at you.
And then he's just whipping them at your car.
Dude, that would be fucking horrific. I'd be so mad.
All right, and the other pandemic's making everyone crazy. You know, like,
Honestly.
You know?
For the first person he's seen in 5 months, and he just needs to get his aggression out.
Yeah, right. He ordered 2 subs. He was like, I'm going to hit him.
He ordered 2 just to throw one at another guy.
And the last story, a Florida man, this dude's a gangster, was arrested. He was driving at 110 miles an hour. He was drunk, naked, and he had 3 naked girls in the back seat with him while he was driving.
What a fucking baller, dude.
Like, they all 4 of them were naked, doing 110 down the road. Granted, he had alcohol in his system, but whatever was going on, he did not want to stop and take a break.
Hell no. He was...
He said, we just taking this on through, you know. If I'm going to jail, we'll make it worth it.
That's crazy. They were all naked.
Yeah, they were all naked.
What even situation could you be in where you have 3 naked chicks in your back seat?
It doesn't even say. But I will post a news story so you could take a gander at it.
We need to interview this guy. Figure his life out.
You know, that's like the one Florida story where it's like Florida man and it's like not something terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's just like, hey, 3 naked girls in the back seat, he's doing 110 down the highway. It's like, oh.
Cop probably gave him a high five, honestly.
You just walk up, you're like, what's going on here?
He's like, oh.
He's like, I kind of understand.
Exactly. Oh, you have somewhere to be, do you? Oh, okay.
Right?
I could see that.
And, you know, before we get into the 90s, 2000s, we do have a giveaway.
Yes, sir.
Going on. We got 90s and 2000s Cards Against Humanity expansion packs. Mm-hmm. If you're just finding out about it, that's on you. Because we had the contest up for about like 2 months now. Could enter it
6 weeks, I believe.
Different ways.
There was over 1,600 entries. If you weren't one of them, you suck.
1,600 people. Cards Against Humanity is big.
That's it, dude. If you don't want these, you fucked up. But the winner's already been drawn. Out
of Atlanta.
That's true. Coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. We're gonna send you an email, but please also DM us just in case your email is incorrect or any issues come about, and then we'll handle it from there. But we have our winner, and it is, hold on, Harold Patif
Harold Patif
from Atlanta, Georgia.
from the ACL.
Congrats, Harold. I hope you're not a Falcons fan. That's tough. But maybe you are, and you can be happy with your new Cards Against Humanity expansion packs.
Invite your boys over. Under 10 people, though. You can't have more than 10 people in the house.
True. Well, honestly, there's no cops left in Atlanta, so it's not like they're going to call. You'll be fine. Have a fucking house party. Nobody's going to know.
And we'll get in contact with you. You get in contact with us. We'll get it sent out.
Shoot us a DM and with your address, and we will get that out to you, buddy.
And now, the moment. 90s versus 2000s. We got 5 categories here. Movie, TV show, video game, toy, and music.
Yep.
We pick one for each category. Steve is representing the 2000s. I'm representing the 90s.
Yep.
We'll post it. You vote. You give us your answer. Who's taking it? And we'll kick it off first with our number 1 movie of that era. Mine, I'm coming in strong. 1995. Billy Madison. Great movie. Great time to be alive. 95. And, that's a movie that's coming in right out the gate. Right out the gate. We coming guns blazing.
I would try and prop up your movie and say how good it is. However, we're enemies at this point, so that movie fucking sucks.
Compared to
the better movie in our competition is 2008's Iron Man. And I'll explain why. It kicked off an entire franchise of movies, 23 movies over 12 years. It started the largest movie franchise of all time, the most movies tied together out of all movie franchises ever. It is incredible. And Robert Downey Jr. had his resurgence. It's almost a perfect fucking movie. Jon Favreau directed it. Dude's a beast. And if you haven't seen Iron Man, who the fuck are you?
I will say Adam Sandler is in my movie. There's a penguin,
That's it. Adam Sandler and a penguin, guys. That's what you're up against. Great job.
No,
I love that movie, to be honest. I can't even hate.
And they're 2 great movies about to go head to head. TV show time. I went 1999, just barely made the cutoff. A great show, Rocket Power. It made every kid want to ride a skateboard, a bike, a scooter, something of that sort. And Rocket Power was, the kickoff of the generation of Sweels.
Sweels. The generation of Sweels, guys. I love Rocket Power. I won't hate on it. However, my show, The Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
Okay, exactly. The best show, one of the best shows.
This guy over here.
It started the modern TV series, especially on the adult movie channels, HBO and Showtime and all that bullshit. Before that, you had like The West Wing and all that stuff. This showed you that you could have an anti-hero as the main protagonist, a guy you fucking hated in one episode and were rooting for in the very next episode. It changed everything from what you were expecting to have out of a main character in a show, and it showed that you can have a vulnerable character. The dude is this big bad mob boss who goes to fucking therapy because he has night terrors and stuff and is hallucinating and has anxiety. That has never been done, and it started 1,000 different shows on 1,000 different channels because of that.
I would give you that. Sopranos did set off it seemed like everyone in that era was watching Sopranos.
Everybody.
Everyone was talking about it.
Everybody's parents watched The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I remember that. My parents, they got whatever was on HBO Showtime just for Sopranos.
Absolutely.
So, I give you that. That was a good pick.
Yeah.
But video game wise, I'm gonna say the 90s is holding it because in '96, Mario Kart dropped, and anyone who's anyone, N64, Mario Kart, a lot of friendships were broken.
True.
A lot of
that fucking blue shell, man.
Yep, you got the shell. It was all you could be in last place. You get a shell. That's it. You start knocking people down, you get the triple shell where you just bam, bam, bam. Next thing you know, you went first. It's anyone's game when you get to Mario Kart. That was the game.
That's fair. I won't hate on that. Mario Kart was incredible. I was more of a Mario 64 guy, but that's fine. Mario Kart is second to that only.
It's
my video game here, 2004, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
I kind of had a feeling.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah, it had to be. It had to be that one. It's one of the best video game franchises of all time. I'm just a franchise king over here, all right?
Yeah.
Just taking the easy ones, the low-hanging fruit, as they say. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
You're making this close.
That's what I'm saying. It's
okay.
tough ones. You got fucking. You have to eat. You have to go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you get fucking jacked. And if you eat too much, you get big and fat and can't climb over walls. That's incredible. That has never been done in another game for whatever dumbass reason. The game is so good that 2 weeks ago I re-downloaded it on my computer to play again. That's how fucking good it is.
I did like the gangs where you have turf.
Yeah, the turf wars and shit.
Over and you have to just stop what you're doing and get over there.
The game is so good that you would find yourself randomly obeying traffic laws just because you're fucking bored and want to do something in the game. Let me stop at this red light real quick. That's what you used to do in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
It's a good move. That's a hard pick. Like these are some picks
dude.
right now.
Yeah, dude.
But toy wise, '98 Game Boy Color drop. You know, and everyone had a Game Boy Color. The AA batteries. You know, you can't play it at night, but you had a lime green Game Boy. You know, the back always broke off because you played with the tab. You had to tape it and stuff. You know, you had Pokemon Red, Blue. Game Boy Color was the error. That was like the number one toy. Like on everyone's Christmas list, they wanted the Game Boy Color.
That's
People
fair.
probably like fighting for the color. Like I want a blue one. Like all the blue ones are sold out.
Yeah.
And then you buy them like a neon orange one. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Yep. No, that's totally true. Game Boy Color was incredible. Because I do remember the days of having my regular Game Boy, which did not have a backlit screen, and at night playing in your car, that shit was impossible. Game Boy Color changed all that. It was a fucking revolution. Although, not as good as my pick, which is the Razor scooter. Came in just early enough at 2000. Everybody was a scooter kid. Ryan, did you have a scooter when you were a kid?
I did have a
You
scooter.
sure did have a
but
scooter.
I'd pick a Game Boy over a scooter.
Nah, and look at you. That's why. No, I'm just kidding. I would have as well. However, in this particular contest, I'm choosing a Razor scooter. If you did not have a Razor scooter from New Jersey covered in Surf Taco stickers, you didn't really live. Everybody had a scooter covered in Surf Taco stickers.
Yep.
So there you go.
Tis true.
That is
true.
the best toy of the 2000s. And look, now scooters are in like the fucking X Games and shit. So like
They are. They did. But music-wise, the last category, who's leading in the music? You know, I went 1991. Nirvana came out, and they changed music.
True.
Nirvana, hands down, was the 90s. I don't care who you talk to. If you put Smells Like Teen Spirit on, or just mention Nirvana, no matter who you are, everyone knows who Nirvana is.
Smells Like Teen Spirit is in the background of every early 2000s wrestling hype-up video that you could have watched back in the day. If it's a compilation of like Kale Sanderson wrestling, it Smells Like Teen Spirit is on. That's a fact. I knew I wasn't going to win because the 90s music is just way better than 2000s music. It's just a fact. And especially since he picked Nirvana, I'm not going to win in this category specifically. I'll probably win all four of the other ones. But if this is the only category he's going to win, I'll let him take that. Because I went with a homer pick, and I picked my personal favorite band and album from the 2000s, and that is Parkway Drive and their album, more specifically, Killing with a Smile. It is the first metal album I ever heard in my entire life, and I'm going to lose this personal round to Ruben for Nirvana, but I couldn't care less because that is my favorite album of all time. It's the first metal song I ever listened to, and it turned me into the person I am today because of that. I could have been like one of these people with tattoos on their face listening to Takashi, whatever his name is.
Gosh.
I could have been that, but I'm not.
69 written on you 69 times.
Exactly.
I mean, we going in. It's going to be hard. We got Billy Madison going up against Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Got Rocket Power going up against The Sopranos.
Yep.
Mario Kart going up against GTA San Andreas. The Game Boy Color against the Razor Scooter. And Nirvana against Parkway Drive. You know,
That's pretty good. I think that's 4 wins for me. 4.5 maybe. Maybe we have a lot of metalheads on
I
the
would
show.
say
Who
maybe
knows?
2. I would say maybe
2
2.
this guy.
TV show and video game is going to be up in the air.
Yeah, video game is tough. That's for sure.
TV show, I'm going to say Sopranos is definitely going to take it. Billy Madison, I could feel people swaying it that way.
Yeah.
Game Boy Color, and then Nirvana. It's going to be tight.
It's tight. It's for sure.
tight.
It's for sure.
I think it'll probably come down movie-wise.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be versus the movie or the toy. I think is going to be the biggest.
Something's coming down to the one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to post it, vote,
Yep.
see who wins. We'll have results next week
Vote for me.
on episode 75.
Oh yeah.
Don't own a coffee cup, sleep in a hammock. You know, follow us.
That's right. At Cereal Box Rejects. It'll be right here on the internets. If you're watching on the YouTube, it'll be right there. At Cereal Box Rejects on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Give us a review. Tell us how awesome we are. How much Ruben's List sucks.
It's solid.
It's all right. It's all right. Well, let's get out of here, dude.
Stop.